Welcome to Rebuild a Toy.
It's time for another Fantasy Friday. I wanted to say Matchbox Monday because we're looking at a Matchbox, but this time it's a fantasy casting, so we'll cover it on Fantasy Friday. Or should I say a Matchbox original? Well, this is a fantasy casting from Matchbox. It is called the ATV 6x6. This is a 3-axle vehicle, 6 wheels, and it's designed for utility. There's no steering wheel. Instead, it uses joysticks to control movement. And it has a shovel mounted on the side. It has a winch in the front, and it's still on the card. We're going to open it up today, though. Show you the card art. You should take a look at the vehicle on the card. Now we'll talk about the card art here in a moment. This is from the Off-Road series. Take a look at the back of the card. As you can see, this is copyright 2018. The ATV 6x6 was originally released in 2011, and it has seen a release every year since then. This one, of course, being released in 2018. There you go. There's the card art. Oh, there's a little number on the tag if you need that. TV 6x6. This particular color variation is not new for 2018. This is a re-release of a 2012 model. So the exact same tampos, same color, same wheels was released in 2012. So this is just a re-release. That works for me because I don't have the one from 2012. Let's talk about this card art though for a moment. As I looked at this, it occurred to me that this vehicle says Polar on the side, and it has the white wheels, which would kind of indicate that it's for cold weather. And the card art shows it in the desert. So I thought that was a little odd. And even on the back, let's see, does it show it? No, it doesn't, but up on the wiki site, it mentions that you need to get supplies and you're stuck in a snowy blizzard. Or are you? You hop aboard your mighty ATV 6x6 and fire it up. So even the original description on the vehicle indicated it would be used in snowy weather. But as I look at the cockpit, the passenger area, it's not enclosed. So I don't know about you, but I kind of like the idea of an enclosed vehicle for winter weather. Although snowmobiles are not enclosed, so I guess it's not completely unheard of to have an ATV for winter weather that is not enclosed. But if you're going to go through the trouble of building a 2-passenger side-by-side vehicle, it might be nice to put a cover on it. And as we'll talk about in a moment, that's actually something you could do. Now, in Matchbox's defense, this is a series of off-road vehicles, and they're all set in the desert. So here is Cliffhanger, which we're not going to talk about today. Another fantasy casting, also part of the off-road series. And you can see they use the same desert background image. So they're just being consistent with their card art. So it can't be too hard on Matchbox for that. Let's go ahead and open this up. Take a look at the vehicle up close. Go. Get out our trusty, if not a bit noisy, turntable. And look at that. Matches our logo color. That's pretty clever. I didn't even do that on purpose. So as you can see on the tampo on the side, it says Polar, and the tampos are different on the two sides. Polar is much larger on, I guess you could call it the passenger side. Really, I don't think there's a driver or passenger because the control stick in the middle seems like it could be operated by either occupant of the vehicle. So it says Polar 6x6 on the one side, And it says Polar in the front and 6x6 in the back. Let me bring this up close so you can see the detail here on the back on this side. I guess we'll call it the driver's side. That's a shovel there with a bear claw or bear footprint. There's the Polar in the front. You can see the detail. It's supposed to be a winch in the front and then some extra lights. The bumper and then the Polar ATV on the side with that bear paw print logo. There are some items in storage in the back. Not sure exactly what all that is. Maybe some extra fuel and a few other items. And some lights in the back. Now we're going to talk a little bit about this. This is a fantasy casting. It's not licensed. However, don't roll off there. I did a little bit of research trying to see if there was a vehicle that inspired this one, and I did find a vehicle I think is very close, and I'm going to throw a picture of that up on the screen. The name of the vehicle that I found is the Max 2. So the Max 2 is an amphibious 6-wheel vehicle. It has a very similar control yoke or 2-stick controller and the same kind of rigid axle tire arrangement. The vehicle is available with a number of options, including a roll bar that you see pictured on the fantasy casting. And it also comes with some other things, a snow plow for the front, a fabric enclosure for the passenger compartment. You can even get tracks, like snow tracks, to replace the tires. So a number of accessories are available. Sadly, if you're in the market for this vehicle, you will have to look for it on the used market. The reason is there's some interesting legal issues, some back and forth between some licensees of the original technology. I won't go into all of the details, but I'm reading a letter that in 2013 there was a company in Indiana that purchased the license to manufacture these vehicles from the original developer of the technology and the original patent holders. And apparently that license ran out after 3 years. So in 2016 it was supposed to transfer back over to another company, and they're having some issues getting some of the tooling and things transferred over. So vehicles aren't available to purchase, but you can get parts for them right now. So if you have one, at least you can keep it running, so that's a good thing. But I thought it was interesting that even though this is not a licensed vehicle, it is at least somewhat loosely based on an actual vehicle that can be purchased, or at least could be purchased, and that it's amphibious. So that is our Fantasy Friday casting for this week, the Matchbox ATV 6x6, or possibly, depending how you look at it, the MXI Max 2, at least inspired by that. Thanks for watching.